Hello, everyone. Hey, look at that. My camera's working. All right. This is a good start to the day. Oh, man, there's like no water in here. Crap. That's all right. Hey, Willowness, how you doing? Hope your day is going well. I got these Fairlife nutrition plan, high quality chocolate milkshakes. They're actually, it's like, I've had protein powder before. This is the best shake, like protein shake, I think I've ever had. Like, it tastes like good chocolate milk. It's like a treat. So we will live off of that. Eventually, I may have to get up and get some water. We'll see. Been a thirsty day. All right, so what are we working on? I put the Spellforge in. You know, I was sitting there today. I had made some quick little updates here and there on lunch. And I was looking at the Spellforge. And every time I look at the Spellforge, I kind of side-eye it, and I'm like, you know, I could do better. I could do better. Before, it used to be more like a ritual, and then I kind of toned it down a little bit. Because, like, every other aspect of the mod was, like, super hard. And now that there's some balance, like, it's not that I want it to be hard, it's just that it could be better. You know, it's like, why do I have it to where you need just runes all around? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? Basically, you erase one of the spell ciphers and you get the runic scroll back. So I'm like, do I want to change things? I think the answer is yes. What the hell is wrong with the sun right now? You know what? Here we go. March. There we go, nice and bright. But I think I gotta do something with this. Something. I think it would be kind of cool to maybe remodel this a little bit. Maybe you don't need runes surrounding it anymore. Let me make sure my settings are... Okay, they're where I want it. Too bad stop time also stops particles. Yeah, you know it's funny you mentioned that? That hung me up for a while. In one of my early test worlds, I was like... I thought the particle system was broken because I didn't realize I had stopped time completely. So I'm like, I'm casting spells and I'm like, where the hell are the particles? Yeah, that was egg on my face. It took a little bit, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's only in this world. And I looked, I'm like, time stopped. And then I remember I got pissed that I had to keep resetting the time. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, in my creative world, so I'm like, I'm gonna stop time. This is great. Didn't even notice I killed the particles. Man, that's good. It's like chocolate milk. So, what can I do with this? This is the current state. You have a GUI. I want to move away from the GUI. I'm thinking you'll have a cipher, right? And I could do this one of a couple of ways. I can get rid of this selection box here, right? And I could just make a hitbox right in the middle. Here, let's break this and look here. I could maybe create like a ring at the bottom, like a temporal ring, cut this part out right here. And then get rid of this. Maybe bring this up to here so it looks like the portal forms in like on the tip of this, right? And then have a selection box right at the bottom, right? And then you could take your your cipher, and then just right-click on that selection box, and it will take it out of your hand, right? And then place it down so you could see the cipher. Make it feel more immersive, you know? And then I guess the other part is, what should the cost be for this? Because I could use this as an opportunity to maybe pull back some of the essence requirement costs for, although I really don't have to do that. Like, I could shave off some of the essence requirements by having an item or something, you know, be like a catalyst for discovering spells. You know, even if that's like, oh, you know, on the top here you put like a temporal fragment, and it costs like 1 temporal fragment to start opening the void. You know, start opening the rift. Or maybe it's mana torches. Maybe I can make little positions like here, where you could put mana torches on like the 4 sides, or, you know, like here, kind of like in the middle, like surrounding it. What should... I'm gonna need some input here, because like the current way it works, but it could be better. It could definitely be better. And I think having this link up to Essence Generator is not the way. It does have that system built into it. I could do that, but I don't think I want to do that. Don't think so. I could redesign these. I could have like hollow torch. See, this is the problem though. You know what? There's not a problem, because I figured it out here. Here, let me turn something on. I gotta remember to turn this off, or people are gonna be confused. We'll just kind of see what this would look like. Mage Candle, Mana Torch. Want to go into the attributes. Let's minimize the particles. Actually, did I go too far? Okay, I did. Let's pull up the Mage Candle. This is what I want, and I'm going to put it right there. We're gonna reload. Oh, I also decided, I forgot that I got rid of the Rift charge costs for the Rift Weavers. I'd put in Arcanus for some reason. There we go. There, let's Now the problem that I'm gonna have with these torches is that the lit state isn't going to look animated. Right? You are not gonna have particles going on here. But maybe have it to where, like, you could place, you know, torches. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. It doesn't have to be mana torches. But, you know, there should be some kind of cost with this. Some kind of cost. Want to place 4 mana torches as fuel for it? Maybe. I'm open to other ideas, as you know, as long as things make sense. Like I was thinking the mana torches. Well, because you open up a rift, right? Like you depending on what the torch is, you know, like it would kind of match, you know, what with the cipher you're putting down. But it doesn't have to be that. It just needs to be something that you can do as like a tier 1 player. You know what I mean? Like just tier 1. I mean, it could be like it could be a rust crystal. Maybe I could make a hitbox here where you place a rust crystal on top and that opens it, or you know what I mean? Like right now this is a rough draft. I'm not sure what the final result should be. I just know that this, having like the GUI and stuff, this is the old way to do it, right? This is the old way. I can do better, and I can do better, and I will. We can do better. You could place the crystals, yeah, the very top of the brown nubs. Yeah, you place the crystal, even matches the colors. Yeah, well, see, the reason why it's brown there, it used to be all this kind of temporal, like before it used to be all like temporal gear colored. And then I realized, you know what, that's probably not the best approach. So then I was going to make the whole thing rust, and I kind of stopped halfway through because I knew that I wanted to change the whole thing, but I just put in the Thaumic Foundry, and it still had a lot of work to do. So I figured I would iron this out, and then once the update's out, and, you know, I've kind of squashed all the bugs and made a bunch of changes, I would eventually come back to this. Eventually come back to this. Maybe charged small rust crystals. Yeah, because like it can't be any of the gemstones, right? Let me find a gemstone here. Right? It can't be Arcanus, it can't be Ethereum, it can't be Chimerite. Because I don't want to add extra stuff to like detect what tier scroll you have. You already paid those costs, right? It shouldn't be these charged essence cores. That's too expensive. Shouldn't be a scroll of binding. That wouldn't make sense. It can't be any of the runic scrolls either, because you process them to get the ciphers. Rusty Dust is kind of cheap, you know, so shifting fibers. Rustic Compound, I don't want to add another thing that would take a compound, so that one's blacklisted regardless. It can't be a Rift Charge, because you get those like at tier 2, right? That's when you can get Serenity. I mean, Primordial Fragment is a very solid choice. And so are the crystals up top. Mage Candle, maybe? Maybe some Mage Candles. Here, I'm going to start clearing stuff out. That's a definite no. Let's see. Let me put that back in. Get the right kind of crystal. Let's just keep going through. I don't think I want it to be like any kind of Essence Ash. Because my thought was like, okay, well, what if you right-click on it with Essence Ash to, like, start it? I mean, maybe. You have to, like, right-click. You know, you put like the light in, right? And then you'll see like the light scroll at the bottom, and then you have to like kind of like start the fire, right? By taking like a light ash and then like right-clicking on it to get it like started. Maybe. But I feel like that's just an extra step, and there's not really a lot of zazz with it, you know? I feel like it's lacking. Mage Weave? Well, see, the problem with Mage Weave is I would be doing a check. I would have to do a check for like every kind of Mage Weave. I of course could turn it into a wild card. I mean, I could put it down. We can pop it on here. Because a lot of these checks, right, I need to say specifically, like, I either make it like Mage Weave -none -diamond, If you look, there are the different offset kinds too, so I'm gonna have to make it take, you know, like maybe the fire imbued because someone wants to maybe throw in a fire imbued because they have no other, you know what I mean? And then you got 4 different patterns too, like the normal, the diamond, the square stitched. So I'll put that one there. It's not a bad idea though, right? Because that's how we get this stuff done, is just kind of collecting anything we can. Come on, guys, Rift Bloom Seed, perma destroy it. There's some Rift Bloom tea, right? You take out a bowl and just kind of drop it on there as an homage to all your homies. Nah, we're not doing that. Portal. I mean, there's mana torches. They're mana torches. Why are you moving away from rift charges? Hey, Sushi Roll. What do you mean moving away from rift charges? You don't use a rift charge as it is to get the Spellforge going. And rift charges are considered tier 2, so I can't use a rift charge. Because you're not going to have them to make your tier 1 scrolls. And I'm not going to put in a system that's going to do all of these unique checks depending on the type of cipher you put in. You know what I mean? Becoming a witch ritual. Yeah, I just always end up with a ton of stuff, so more uses would be great. Yeah. Oh, for Mage Weave? More uses for Mage Weave? I thought that was a different block. Oh, I got you. Actually, you'll be maybe happy to know this. I changed the Rift Weavers today during lunch to where I didn't realize I did this. It must have just been a stroke out for me, but I had it to where you could put Arcanus in, or Ethereum, or Chimerite. I took out the Arcanus, and you can now put Rift charges in again. There you go. So you got rift charges that you could use now. That was the original intent. I don't know what I was thinking before with like what I was trying to accomplish with the Arcanus. I was moving very fast in my defense. I was moving very fast trying to get an update out. but that has been changed now too. But this, ugh. All right, let's keep looking here. Let's keep looking. Right, so we're on mana torches. Mana lanterns are going to be a no. Honestly, mana torches are kind of a no too. I rely a lot on mana torches for rituals. I don't want to spread it super thin by having it also be a vital source for, you know, you name it. Honestly, the mage candles are not a bad idea. They're pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap to make. And the only real uses that a mage candle has is in rituals. That's their main use. And then as an upgrade, you know, for these. But it's a low level upgrade, so you end up like getting off these pretty fast to like upgrade. You know, to go beyond. So it would be nice to give mage candles more use. It would be nice to give the ash a little more use as well. You will be getting more ash in the next update. You'll be getting double. So for every one rustic compound that you burn, you'll get 2 of the ash now. Primordial Fragment is a good idea. Again, you kind of use them a lot in rituals. What else do you use them in? I think rituals are like the big thing. And it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. Arcanus can be a pain at earlier points. Yeah, hopefully not so much anymore with the next update. Could make a shifting twine to address the mage weave multiple tags. What do you mean mage weave multiple tags? In here? Not sure what you mean. For the multiple tags. Although I would like to use Mage Weave a little more for some things. Could make a shifting twine to address the Mage Weave multiple tags. I don't know what that is. I had a long day of work. Just put in shifting twine? Shifting, you mean shifting fibers? Shifting fibers, right? Is that it? Afro Man, Vice, your mod is amazing. Thank you. We're making it better. We're making it better. So what's the problem with these? What are the multiple tags? I mean, these are all stacked. For the ingredient 4, I could break it out. You were talking about having to code multiple times for the Mage Weave, i.e. normal stitches, offset stitches. Oh, yeah, that okay, so that's what you were talking about. Well, I could do, you know, contains, like, for the, I mean, I could go in for code, right? Like, thinking about it, I could go in for code, and I can say, okay, if it's Mage Weave dash, it's a block, it's in my domain. And then if it has Mage Weave dash, then I assume that it's the Mage Weave block. I could check to make sure that it's got, you know, so many segments. Like, there are sleuthy things that I could do. But this is the thing. You're putting a cipher in there. Does it make sense that putting a Mage Weave cloth down opens up a void? You know what I mean? That's like having a wicker chair bake you pancakes. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, I said bacon there to try and make it, like, sound a little weirder. To bake y'all pancakes. Yeah, whatever the item is, it's gonna be like the catalyst that opens up the void. I mean, am I wrong in thinking this? Like, should shifting fibers be? Like, I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to source some suggestions here, because until I get this mapped out, I can't really work on the block. That's a recipe for disaster. I guess we could kind of go through. There really isn't anything else. Like, I mean, I could do stuff like the crystals. Probably not the elemental crystals. I really need a good use for the elemental crystals as well. Besides, you know, getting the few, like, you know, the fireball grimoire and stuff like that. My mind is so broken with the crystals because I keep thinking, like, oh, carve them into gemstones. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's like Thaumcraft, where it's like, you know, you got the gemstone of fire, right? And you're putting it on socketing it, you know, the cap on top of your wand, and I'm like, the magic system I have is different. Like, I gotta get that out of my head as like a use case thing. Not everyone has access to fireball. Alright, so what do we got here? What do we got? Got that. Oh crap, you can't store these on the ground? Interesting. Why are you unable to store shifting fibers on the ground? You should be able to, so let me fix that. Shifting fibers. I mean, I got rid of it for the rusty dust. I know that. There we go. So let me move this over. Let me copy. Right after creative, I will put this behavior in. Storage flag is correct. I think that's all I need to do. Oh, nope, there's one more thing. I need the ground storable transform in attributes. Right there. Save. Lol, and down another rabbit hole. It's not that I'm down another rabbit hole. I'm waiting for someone to convince me what to use. What's going to be the catalyst item? And it's okay if it's a little more expensive, because that means I can reduce the essence cost of getting the blank cipher, right? Like, I'm fine with that. Oh, yeah. Damn it, still can't do it? It's a shifting fiber, right? This should have done it. Let me look for behaviors. No, that's the only behavior. Oh, crap, I put it in Rusty Dust instead. Whoops. Let's pop it into shifting fibers. Here we go. Which means this cut out. There we go. All right, sell me on it, guys. What do you want the cost to be? Just think of how great it's going to be. You're not going to have this thing, like, surrounded by runes anymore. You could, like, put it neatly in your workshops. There we go. Cool. Size is a little wank, but I guess I'll, yeah, I guess I'll deal with that now. DF edit. Ground. So 100% ain't it. Let's go for like a 75%. Yeah, 75% is pretty good. And let's kind of rotate it a little bit. Just like that. Perfect. Is that almost 45 degrees? I'll put it at an exact 45 degrees. Copy. Instead of copying it, I'm just going to come over here. Damn it. There we go. Keep covering up the window. Ground storable. You know, I'll just copy it. Paste. Copy. Okay, this is it. This is it. Copy that. Delete. Paste. There it is. Bring this back over. Bam. Could you make it ground storage like the feathers are now? Just a messy pile? I could, but I don't want to put that much effort into it. I could. But I really don't want... I'll tell you what. Give me good ideas that I could run with for, like, help me figure out the spell forge. And then, sure, I could. See, the annoying part is I would have to create the model. And then, like, place it in these weird positions. And then have it to where, like, this would have to keep track of, like, you know, the 1, 2, 3. Like, it's not easy to do. It's the same thing with, like, the candles. And then you keep placing another candle down and it puts it, like, in its designated spot. You actually have to be really careful, like, the sequencing of doing stuff like that. So it's a lot more effort than one may think. You help me with this. What item should I use to get this jump started? holding it hostage right now. You could have that if... I'll put that down. Alright. Which one? Which one? Guess I could break that. Any reason you don't want to use a chiseled enchanted stone block? Because chiseled blocks are automatically changed to, I believe it's a block and a block entity of a chiseled block. I have no control over anything special. Basically, you either get the code that, like, turns it into, you know what I mean? Like, when you get into chiseled blocks, they're for looking. They're not for storing inventories and other stuff on. They're not for heavy lifting. If you want, you could chisel the blocks around it and make something that looks pretty. Some of the people, like, the things people make with chiseled blocks are amazing. Like, I'll look and I'm like, I don't have the patience to make, like, a unicorn fighting a guy with a spear, you know, like, just crazy things. I am still for rust crystals, or maybe a ritual to charge the crystal so it's a charged crystal. I don't want to add an item that has a one-time use, so if I add a new item, it would have to have more than one use. You know what I mean? Like, so that would create a new ritual to create a brand new item that doesn't get used anywhere else in the mod except for this one singular purpose. You know what I mean? Could be eaten to gain mana? Nope. Because I have a mana potion and a health potion system that I just didn't implement yet. So nope, can't do that. I mean, not really. Could set the layout to Messy 12 and then just define the collision. I don't know what you're talking about, but I will take your word for it. I'm bouncing back and forth here, so I forgot what we were talking about. Also, what are we looking to do? I'm late. Okay, I'll explain it here. The Spellforge. This is the old way. I have a GUI here, you know, like you have like runes that you encase these in. This was something that kind of kept changing early on. You used to have pillars and you used to have rune stones. There was a point in time when you would connect this to an essence generator and it would pull the essence into it, you know, like it would consume the essence to like make your spells. In the form it's in right now, it's still got a GUI. You put something in, you put these runes around it for whatever reason. Kind of makes it to where you can't put these against the wall or anything in your shop. It kind of chugs. It does an okay job making your spell scroll, or your spell cipher, but it needs an update. I'm thinking, cut out this bottom, right? And then create a collision box here and have and set it up like this, right? You don't have any GUIs with this because you don't really need a GUI. You have your tablet part in the front, your tablet slot, so you would have, you know, like the whole bottom would be a spell cipher slot, and you would place it in directly from your hand without a GUI. And then you would, you know, maybe there'll be another spot here where you would place whatever the other item is. It would take it, and it would just accept the item, start firing up. So that's the idea. Giving the Spellforge a remodel. But I need to know, what item are you going to be using as fuel to try and research a spell? I don't like the crystal idea. The rust crystal, because I have large rust crystals. It'd be kind of dumb to be like, oh, there's a tier 3 cipher. Yeah, you need the tier, you know, the large rust crystals. And then people will be like, well, why can't I use a fire crystal and get a fire theme spell for something that doesn't exist in the game that creates a fire dome and shoots, you you know, 5 balls magic missile style of fire. You know what I mean? Like, people get off the rails with that stuff, so I would rather not deal with a crystal because of that. So really it's just down to I guess these 4 items. Maybe you would have to sell me on the mage weave. Enchanted charcoal, processed charcoal, and an arclight forge. But see, if I make a new item, then that item's gonna have this. That's why I'm trying to get some feelers out. My crystal! Well, candles then. It's a good candidate for candles. Candles have the 2 uses I had mentioned, right? Rituals, they're used a lot in rituals. But they're also used as an upgrade slot, very briefly, right? Until you get your first artifact core. In which case, you're throwing these candles right back out. I mean, a candle's not a bad idea. If I'm really thinking about it, a candle's not a bad idea. Could you essentially inset a runestone that's rotated to a diamond shape, then the higher grades can have a lower chance of being consumed? For a runestone? Higher grades of what? One sec, don't know what's going on because I'm getting a network error and my Twitch video refuses to play farther. Oh no. Same. I'm not dropping any frames. I'm over 6K kilobits a second. That's pretty standard. Go live from your AI glasses. Streamlabs plus meta. Nope. You can kiss my ass. Not gonna do that. Can you imagine, like, you know what? I would want to watch people doing something, because, you know, people probably forget that they're live streaming and then just, like, stroll into the bathroom and you'll see, like, the picture of them, like, on the toilet, like, what they're doing, you know what I mean? 0 audio.